what is very important is why should we file the income tax return? Many a times people think since it is deducted at source by the employer, there is no need to file the income tax return. But this is a wrong perception. Number two, there are a lot of people who also are, say, agriculturists who have exempt income. Even they do not want to file the income tax return. Sometimes they even have interest income which is exceeding 2.5 lakhs, but that's the problem. So what is very, very important for us to understand is why income tax returns have to be filed. Income tax returns have to be filed for one very important reason. One, if you want to take a bank loan, if you do not file your income tax return, you cannot borrow a single penny from the bank. So this is very, very important for all of you who feel, okay, I don't file my return, I will not show my income, or it is below taxable, I need not file. This is very, very wrong. So what is very important for a person who has got taxable income, he has to ensure that return is filed. Now when you go to a bank, when do you go to a bank? You might go to a bank for taking a loan for the education of your children. You might go to a bank to take a loan for constructing a house. You might go to the bank to take a loan for buying a car or buying a scooter. So what is very important at this sort of time is the banks will not give you any loan, because RBI and the bank internal instructions very clear that no loan can be given to a person who does not file income tax return. Why is it so? The reason being, the bank would like to know whether this person has got the repayment capacity. If a person has a repayment capacity only, will the bank will give loan. And for us to understand whether he has got repayment capacity will arise only when you verify what is his income. They consider, assuming you have an income of say 10 lakhs, and they consider 40%, say about 4 lakhs as your repayment, the balance 60% is for your livelihood, for your maintenance, for your tax and other things. So about 30 to 40% is what they consider as your repayment capacity. So if your salary income is say 1 lakh rupees and your 30,000 rupees is what you are capable of paying in a month. So 30,000 or 40,000 rupees into 12 is 3.6 lakhs. This is the amount you can repay, and based on this is what the loan sanction, your eligibility for loan will be decided. So what is very, very important is that every single individual, whether he is an employer, whether he is an employee, whether he is a earning professional or a self-employed person, every single person should ensure that he files his income tax return. And what is very important is these income tax returns, generally a bank asks for 3 years income tax returns. They would want to have an average of your income for the last 3 preceding years. So assuming we are now in the year 2018, they will ask the income tax return for 31/3/2017, 31/3/2016 and 31/3/2015. That is assessment year 15-16, 16-17 and 17-18. And they will take the average of all these 3 years for arriving at your average income. Now many people think I will file all the 3 years returns at one shot. Now this is not possible, because with the new laws coming in, as I told you earlier, you cannot file a return of 31/3/17 after March 2018. So it becomes time barring. So it is very essential that every single person files his income tax return within the prescribed time, so that he will have these income tax returns with him and he will be able to take advantage. One, even tomorrow, if you, as I told you earlier, for taking loans from banks is one of the most important aspect. Apart from that, if you are going for a tender, even then a company's returns as well as your individual return might be asked. So that is another aspect. And the most important aspect for people who want to go abroad, as you know, for any visa, for a person who wants to go abroad and make an application for a visa, it is mandatory in the visa, in the consulate, that they will ask for last 3 years income tax returns. They would like to know whether you are paying tax returns, whether you're not a prospective immigrant and you will come back to India. So what is very, very important is that from the viewpoint of not only from the income tax angle, but also from the bank, I mean, where you are taking loan or for applying a visa, it is very, very essential that we have to file our income tax return, and we cannot file 3 years return at a time. So it is essential that income tax return has to be filed every single year, and that will give you the power or the eligibility to take a loan from a bank or a financial institution or any other cooperative bank. Now these income tax return has become much more important with a lot of other things. For example, if you want to register a property, even then, I mean, or you require a PAN, and again, whenever you want to apply for any tenders, as I mentioned to you earlier, even then you might require this income tax return. And in many times, in many areas where you apply for any of the licenses also, there is a possibility that the income tax return will be asked. For example, if your company of your firm is applying for a loan, even though your firm has filed its income tax return, but the individual partner has not filed, then you will not be eligible. So it is very, very essential that income tax return has to be filed regularly, so that you do not get into a problem at the last minute.